Tapealert, hottest in the city. We here with one of the most talented brothers in the industry. I don't even know the words to describe this man. The brother Rsonist, Heat Makers. I'm doing great, bro. How you doing?
Can't complain, my brother. I'm alive, man.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God for that, for real. I agree. Let's jump right into it, man. Tell us, how you got your start. I know that you came from Jamaica, correct?
Right. When I was young.
When you was young?
Yeah. When I was young.
What year or?
I came here when I was like 3. So
Okay.
Like 1980.
Okay. And at that time, were you music start even from then? You know what I'm saying?
No, I was honestly music was the furthest thing from my brain, man. I was more like I was into sports.
Okay.
Yeah, I played baseball up until high school, and then I kind of got stuck because I didn't want to play baseball anymore. And then what happened was a friend of mine that I went to high school with, he used to DJ, and I'm competitive, so I'm like, yo, I'm better than you. And he was like, yo, you don't even DJ. So I ended up buying equipment, got into DJing that way, and then from DJing it went into production, and
Okay.
I'm giving you the short version.
The short version. All right. So
Cliff notes.
Yeah. So through your teenage years, DJing, sports. A lot of people don't. Like my brother asked me, I love baseball too, and I didn't play in high school, but I played, in the neighborhood, softball every summer. But he used to ask me, why you like baseball? Or he would say, they would ask where I'm at. He'd be like, he's probably somewhere playing baseball. Right. People don't know that
baseball's a great sport.
It's a great sport.
It's a great sport. It looks boring to watch if you don't understand it, but it's a great sport. Especially for a kid, it's a great sport.
Correct. Also, brother Raekwon from the Wood, he loved baseball growing up. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. He talked about it in his book, but it's another. That's
my nigga too. Man.
Yeah. Shouts to Ray. Yeah. So when you got into producing, when you was DJing, were you competing against the other individual or
DJing?
Correct.
I was into DJ competitions. The funny thing is, I don't think I ever told the story, man. I never told it on camera. I did a DJ battle at Howard, right? So it was me against the first round. They put me up against this dude named LS1, who turned out to be DMX's DJ later on. So I get on, I do my thing. I had these what did I have? These 2 records. I want to rock right now. I want to rock. And I'm going back and forth and I'm doing that shit. I thought I killed it. When it was over, everybody clapping, going crazy. Then LS1 gets up. He was the champion from the year before. I didn't know that, right? So he gets up. He got these 2 KRS-One records and he's like, yo, it starts off, something, kiss my black ass, kiss my black ass. And as he's saying that, he's unbuckling his pants, kiss my black ass, kiss. So by the time he does it on the last one, he has his pants down, he sits on the turntable, gets up, and the shit says, kiss my black ass. He gets off and stops the shit. The crowd is going crazy. I'm packing my shit up to go home. I'm like, that was kind of like the end of my DJing aspirations after that.
Yeah, he added a prop.
The production came after that for me, which was more natural to me.
Okay. So production. The first record that, we see that you've worked with, I mean, I can't even name all the artists, man. Platinum Plaques from Lil Wayne. One of my favorite albums, still to this day, is Jim Jones' El Capo.
Thank you, man, bro. Somebody just told me that the other day too, like about 2 days ago.
And let me tell you, that helped me get through my COVID time. You know what I mean? I had COVID in March when it first started,
right,
until April, early May.
Right.
But I was listening to it before that, and what that album, what it had done for me, it made me accept Jim more as a lyricist now. Right. You know what I'm saying?
What did you like about that album sonically?
Sonically?
Or let me just say musically, not even sonically, musically.
Musically, there was so many different, all the beats didn't sound the same. And
right.
I heard, what the first song that I heard was this sample, I think the Lionel Richie with him and Fad.
Right.
That was the first song I heard, and then I downloaded the album. Then each song, it goes in unison almost, from the first song all the way down. And I said, what I was saying was, I'm like, damn, Jim should have broke it up. He should have just gave people 11 and then hit him with a second one.
We had so much, man.
You had so much material.
And we hit him with another 15 right after that.
Right after that, correct.
Yeah. So now we're going to do the official El Capo 2.
El Capo 2, okay.
Right.
Okay. To me, it's equivalent to, you know, we're gonna rate it 5 tapes for Tapealert, which is equivalent to 5 mics and a source. They don't do that no more.
I appreciate
but I'm gonna
that,
rate it that. One of the best albums, one of the best works.
And honestly, I'm most proud of that piece of body of work. You know what I mean? Like, more so than Diplomatic Immunity, because I did everything from top to bottom on that album, as far as like even mixing and mastering. You know what I'm saying? So, that album holds a special place to me.
I respect that, as it should, as it should. Tell us about, you know, the first, your first. Do you remember your first song you actually made and you actually heard it? Correct.
Yeah, it was with Cannabis.
Okay, 2000 BC.
Yeah, it was a song by the name of, it was called The Sequel. And I remember hearing it and I'm just like, it gave me a different understanding of, because at that point I was a beat maker, I wasn't a producer yet, you understand? Like, because even with Cannabis, I didn't get a chance to work with Cannabis. We kind of just gave him the beat, he did what he did, they called us when it was done. But after that record was recorded, I kind of figured out like, okay, cool. When I make certain beats, they don't need this or they don't need that because it leaves space for the artist. You understand? I didn't understand that before. I was just trying to make the dopest beat possible. I didn't leave room for I wasn't even thinking about the artist.
Okay.
So that kind of opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and especially the amount of records we did with Dipset when we first met them. It was kind of like I had to become a producer on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Even if I wasn't a producer before, I became a producer then.
Right. So now you said you weren't a producer, but you was a beat maker.
Right.
For myself, I always thought that the beat maker was the producer. Like how I'm seeing it.
Here's why I'm saying this, right? When you're a beat maker, you just make really dope beats. When you're a producer, you figure out a way to make the best song.
Copy.
You understand? It's like somebody could rap a song to me and I could be like, okay, it needs this type of emotion behind it, and make a beat around it and be like, all right, cool, this is what it needs. A beat maker can't do that. A beat maker is just going to make the hottest beat he can make. It might not fit the occasion. You understand? Because producers know how to make the music fit the occasion.
Right.
So that's why I say there's a difference between a beat maker and a producer. There's a bunch of dudes that's in their back room in their house making beats.
Right.
They don't know how to produce yet.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. The more artists they work with, they'll figure it out how to produce, you know?
Understand. You know, if there's a way to put your catalog from early 2000 to today, and I was saying this, I was talking to my brother here, man, Freddie, and I was saying, like, you know how we had the Dr. Dre, the DJ Premier from the late 80s to the early 90s.
Right.
You hold that actual, you have a grasp of that industry from 2000 on to today.
Right.
Do you feel like, you know, and maybe we're not seeing it, but do you feel like you're not celebrated enough?
1,000,000%.
Right?
I'm definitely not celebrated enough. And maybe part of that is my fault in the sense of I'm not the dude that's in front of every camera or trying to chase down every interview or trying to be in every club. I'm not that guy. So maybe that hindered my career in that sense. You know, but I'm fully aware of that and I'm cool with that. But just based off of my consistency, I feel like I deserve more recognition.
Right. I mean, you know, it's funny you said that because that's exactly what I was thinking. You know, I see a lot of other producers, you know, which is no shade to them, but I'm starting to match the person with the sound. For example, Cool and Dre.
Right.
Matching.
Two cool brothers, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Now I'm able to match the person with the sound, or even Alchemist as well.
Right. Shout out to Alchemist.
Yeah. So, you know, like you said, you're not, you know, in front of the camera or running people down, which is understandable. However, you're still somehow able to maintain relevancy in this business.
The music, man, like the music makes people feel a certain way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 90% of the people I know I've met through my music. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I met Jerry Lorenzo because of El Capo. I got on Rick Ross's album because of El Capo. You understand? Like, so I understand how powerful music is, so I don't take it lightly when I make it. You understand? Like, I try to make shit that's going to make you feel a way. So that you got to hit me on the DM like, yo, I need one. You understand? Like, that's my goal, and it's like, I accomplish it more times than I don't.
Tell us a little bit about how if you could just sum it up for us, the industry. You know, when you produce a record, right, and you get your production credits. Do you submit it through the label? How does that actually work?
What happens is, okay, let's just say I do a record for Rick Ross, right? He likes it. He'll say, I want to use this record. What'll happen at that point is they'll make a producer deck to say, okay, cool, these are the agreements. He's going to get paid this. This is going to be his royalties. You know, it's going to say produced by blah, blah, blah. You get your first half because I sampled. If I didn't sample, then I'd probably get everything up front, right? So I get my first half. Then I send them the stems and the, you know, the session. They mix it and do all of that shit. Then I get my second half after they've cleared the sample and
everything. Yeah. Oh, got it. Understand.
So your production credit is already taken care of in the beginning.
Okay, understandable. Tell us a good and bad experience that you've had working with, you know, a lot of the artists. You know, some of the artists are really tough to work with. If there's any.
All types of shit, man. Like you run into artists that are like fucking like egomaniacs, you know what I'm saying? People that want it done their way, or they feel, you know, I don't know, they just feel threatened in some shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, it's like, I mean, honestly, specific stories, it's too many, to be honest. It's too many because it's like, until you get to know an artist, most artists want to work in their own way.
In their own terms, copy.
The way they're comfortable. You understand? So it's always going to be a fight to try to produce for an artist who's set in his ways or her ways. You know, so, but that's just regular. That's regular shit. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm never mad at it. That's regular shit.
Tell us about the education through music program that you're part of.
Yeah, that's actually a program where, you know, people are giving back to inner city school music programs, like a lot of schools in the Bronx. That's what had me interested, because they actually want me to come out and speak at a couple schools in the Bronx this next school year. But just the fact that they're giving music equipment back and formulating music programs and all that stuff, like, I was all for it. So like, yeah, I help them promote, you know, like any events that they have, I show up. I'm with Sony. Sony donates money, you know what I mean? So it's a dope program. Anything for the kids, I'm with it, man.
And it's through multiple schools, or it's?
Yeah, it's multiple schools, like throughout New York City.
Okay.
Yeah, throughout New York City.
Junior high, or elementary, just wherever
music
accepts
programs,
it.
Yeah.
Copy.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about you having an opportunity. God bless the dead man, Fred Godson, whose punchlines is just.
That was my brother, man.
Yeah, I was listening to something, and he said, you know, don't quote me on it. He said, I don't shake hands with son. I just hand son the shake or something. That, you know, to come up with that. And
was that him or Joel that said that line?
No, I think it was Fred.
That was on Gorilla Glue. I know that was on Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, it was
I can't remember which one of them said that. I know Joel had something like that. That might be Joel. But Fred's, I mean, come on. Fred's lines was endless, man. Fred said, what's one of Fred's crazy lines? He said,
he has so many.
He said, I got a crib and a studio. Your crib is a studio. We got different rents. He said, here's the difference. Your crib is a studio. I got a crib and a studio. We got different rents. Like some stupid shit. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude, man?
Blacked on that. Blacked out.
Fred goes crazy on any record I record. He had at least had one memorable line in every record.
He does. What was that experience like working with those two brothers, man?
It didn't feel like work. You know what I mean? It's like It's like chilling with your homeboys and doing what you do. I make beats anyway. They write rhymes anyway. We around each other. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was never work. It was never a struggle. It was kind of like it was silent competition. I wanted to make the best beat possible. They wanted to out rap each other. It was perfect. It was perfect.
As far as music today, you know, with the drill music, how are you able to distinguish your sound from the typical drill sound, but to also have somebody like, damn, you made this? Like, yeah.
I think you can't. Everybody, unless you're a fucking psychopath, everybody got a soul, man. And if the music talks to your soul, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's country music. I don't care if it's pop music. You're going to react. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it. It's like, yeah, I might make what some people consider like old school shit. And I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. It's soul music. It's going to touch your soul at some point. You're going to forget about all that old school shit and be like, nah, I need this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I make music based off of feel, man. I don't really care about sound. Like, what does it feel like? When you driving and you throw the song on, do you feel a way? Do you get goosebumps? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm after. I'm not after anything short of that.
Do you get any calls from, you know, artists from back then? Like when we were coming up, you know, we were looking forward to, we were big into, you know, J Hood and J.R. Ryder. Do you get calls?
I haven't seen J.R. Ryder in, I haven't seen J Hood or J.R. Ryder in over 5 years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I've worked with J.R. Ryder a ton of times. We've never done like a full-length project or nothing, but we've done records sporadically, you know what I'm saying? I don't think me and J Hood ever got a record in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with J Hood.
Yeah.
I haven't heard him recently, but you know, I fuck with J Hood.
Yeah. The reason I brought them up, because those were artists like, you know, I mean, we come from the 80s, early 90s, the Nas, AZ.
Right.
I can go back to Mike Geronimo, and I could just name a few.
I had to play y'all a record before you leave with Joel, Crook, and AZ. It's kind of tough. It's on Joel and Crook's new project.
Okay.
I want to play that for y'all.
All right, copy. Appreciate that. J.R. Ryder, man, why, you know, I mean, I don't know if you can tell us why, you know, but why his career never took off the way it should have. Not saying that, you know what I mean, you're the reason, but just from your insight, from having knowledge and being in the industry.
I think at some point it has to become more than just rap and lyrics.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
building relationships?
No. I just mean as far as the type of music you make has to become, like we talk about El Capo, right?
Correct.
Jim has lyrics, but the songs took you on a journey. It was different type of songs, it was different feels, it was the right features for the right songs, it was the right skits at the right time. We set it up like a movie, you understand? Because we understand that people want to hear more than just raps.
They want to see the picture.
They want to get taken on an experience, you understand?
Correct.
And that's what El Capo was. So to go back to the J.R. Ryder thing, I think is that he's never produced that type of body of work. Like, he's rapped a lot, which he's great at. You know what I mean? But I feel like he has to make real songs. Now, when I say real songs, I mean like an album of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the shit is taking you on a journey from track one till the end. And that's the problem with a lot of artists to me. Like, I just feel like they don't put enough effort into the making of the total body of work.
Correct. And that could stem from, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I see it, because the way I see it, you know, I always use Man Fade as an experience. Like, if I was to go in and make an album, I'm not just going to pick a bunch of beats and say, you know, all right, this is what the album's going to be centered around. It has to be a picture. And
think about it, right? Like, let's just say I'm 5 songs into my album. A producer comes in, he sells me a beat. He don't even know the other 5 songs. Another producer comes in, he sells me another beat. He don't know the other 6 songs. So now it's like every producer that's coming in, he's just bringing his best beat. He's not bringing anything that's going to fit a project
on that album.
Right. So that's why a producer producing a whole project can work, because he knows what he needs and what he doesn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need this type of feel on the album now. Let me produce that. You know, so, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Tell us about what you have cooking up next. I see that you have, you know, you produced on the Lil Wayne, the Carter 2.
Yeah, I had 2 records on there.
Yeah, 2 records on the Carter 2. But he just mentioned the other day that the Carter 6 is coming out.
Yeah, and I'm actually, the funny thing you said that, because I hit my man to get in contact with Wayne and link us back up again so I could get some music to him. Him and I heard 50's working. So I actually just got an email today to send some music to 50, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to, all the people I've always wanted to work with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've worked with Wayne before, but I want to work with Wayne now again, you know what I'm saying?
Again.
But with 50, I've always wanted to work with 50, you know what I'm saying? If I can get a chance to get a record in with M before he hangs it up, you know what I mean? Jay, you know, everybody that came from my era, I'm still a big fan of, you know what I mean? Like, And I'm not a hater in the sense of I give it up to whoever I was a fan of, producer or rapper or singer.
Copy. You know, we watch a ton of interviews, man, and they be saying, you know, producers, man, you know, Dr. Dre budget, it's not less than 500 to 750,000.
Oh, for what he wants for a beat?
For a beat, yeah.
I've heard similar numbers.
Right. Has anyone tried to, you know, I don't know what you would consider your best beat, but has anyone tried to be like, yo, Rsonist, I'll give you like $1 for it. And you're like, what? 100? Nah.
Nah, people, I mean, now that you got social media, people say crazy shit all the time.
Right.
They'll ask me like, yo, I need a beat, how much? You tell them the price, you're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I can't get it for this. You're like, you hit me, I hit you. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, because what I charge for a beat, a lot of people might look at it like, damn, you know how much I could do with that? But you got to look at my history. You know, I put in years for that to charge that. I didn't just come up with that price yesterday.
Right.
That's from, how much years is it now? That's fucking
almost
that's
20. That's
22. Realistically, is 99. We sold the first beat to Cannabis, so that's when my professional career started. So that's really 23 years. You understand? So my price is 23 years of experience that's going into music. So you can't be mad at that.
Nah, you can't. For the young producers that's watching, that's coming up, any advice, any motivational words for them?
I say this all the time, and when I do interviews, and I don't know if people get it twisted because it sounds kind of crazy, but I believe that, like, don't take it the wrong way when you get angry. Like, when you get angry, that's a good thing. You understand? Like, when people turn you away and say they don't like that, or your music sucks, or this, what, that's great. Use that as fuel to push yourself to the next level. You understand? Like, a lot of people get angry and they shut down. Like, yo, it's over. Fuck it. He said my shit is terrible. And they defeated already. Right. You understand? If you learn how to use that anger for some positivity, you could conquer the world, man. Like, I stay angry, man. I make up competitions with people that don't even fucking know me. So I can get through the day. Like, it's kind of like it's an energy boost for me. You understand? Like, and I understand that, and I need that to make it through my day. So it's like, I don't look at anger or aggression as a bad thing. It's just, how do you use it? Right. You know what I'm saying? I put it in my music.
Right. Speaking of anger, and like you said, putting it through your music and having 23 years and probably more than that. You would have to say more than that.
I'm saying professionally.
Professionally,
right. 23 years.
But respectfully, it could be 30 because from when you started.
You know, honestly, my music career took off relatively fast.
Okay.
From the time I started making beats, the first beat was sold 6 months later. Wow. But then the Diplomat thing, there was like a gap. From that 6 months, it was a gap of like from 99 to 2001. No, when did we meet Dipset? 2001 or 2002? Probably beginning of 2002. So there was like that 3-year gap, you know what I'm saying, where I was just building up music. And Thriller at the time, you know, big shout out to my man Thriller. Thriller was building up music. So by the time we got to Dipset, we had like a tremendous amount of music. You know what I mean? But even before Dipset, we was on Cam's Come Home With Me. So we had Boy Boy and we had and Come Home With Me, the title track. We had those 2 tracks on there. So we was loaded. We was lock and loaded at that point. So we was good.
Right. A lot of people don't know that, you know, I'm gonna use the term again, you know, relevance, that you're responsible for these hits that people are still playing, DJs are still mixing from 2000 to today. Right. A lot of people don't know that, and you know, we just want to, you know, congratulate you at Tapealert.
I appreciate it,
hopefully when they see this, they be like, oh, you know, like, yeah, we need to, you know,
never people been in here that didn't know shit that I did until I start playing it. They're like, yo, you did that? You did Killer Cam? You did Dipset Anthem? You did I'm Ready? You did Shot This? You like, they start running through records, and I'm like, yeah, and they like blown away, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, to me, you know what I mean? I'm still a hungry new producer in my head. Right. I don't like, the past is the past me. Like, now that y'all talking about it, I talk about it. But anybody that knows me know I don't talk about this shit. I don't talk about Dipset Anthem. I don't talk about any of that old shit to me. It's like, what am I doing tomorrow?
Right. Which is be my next question. What can we look forward to? We touched on Lil Wayne. Who's next?
El Capo 2.
El Capo 2.
Me and Joel, actually Joel's hit me yesterday, so I'm assuming he might want to get in this week so we could get started. So me and him putting a project together. It hasn't started yet, but like I said, Jerry Lorenzo, he has, I guess, his situation's with Adidas now. So he wants me to work on his new campaign for, I don't know if it's the Essential campaign or I think Fear of God is with Nike, so it has to be Essential. So I got that in the works also. There's a show on Vice called Black Market that I'm producing the music for the next season. I got a deal with VP. I don't know if you remember the reggae label VP, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did a deal with them years ago to take their catalog and flip it into hip hop music and put hip hop artists back on there and put out an album. So I just started doing that the other day. I started working on that project, and I'm doing a lot of shit, man. And then I did a deal with Akai. We got a Heatmaker drum packs coming out probably like by top of 2023, and there was one more thing that I'm forgetting, man. I know I'm forgetting some shit. It'll come to me, man. I'm doing a bunch of shit, but it's all good, man. It's better to forget shit than to not have shit to
not
forget.
have shit.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
But yeah, I'm doing a bunch of things, and I'm grateful, man, because I know like being in the game for a certain amount of years, it's hard to stay relevant, man. I don't know if people understand how hard that shit is without making an asshole of yourself. Because you can make a dick of yourself and stay relevant forever.
Right.
But to keep your integrity and stay relevant is one of the hardest things to do.
In this industry.
Yeah, in entertainment industry in general.
Period.
In general. So
Copy.
yeah, man. So I'm blessed that people still call me and want to break bread with me and do work, and so I don't take none of that for granted at all.
Brother Rsonist, Tapealert family, we want to thank you, man, for giving us your time, man, and
you,
dropping
man.
those jewels on us,
through.
man. And that record with Emma's gonna happen, man. You spoke it into existence.
Yeah,
They're gonna see this.
Yeah.
That record for Fifth is gonna happen.
All in God's time, man.
Yeah.
Everything is gonna happen, man. I'm not stressed about none of that shit no more. Because I've been blessed too much to where it's like opportunities fall in my lap. I just work. I just stay busy. My saying is keep working till it works. And I just work until it works. If you work hard enough, it will work. You understand? Like, I'm not saying be blind to the business side, but perfect your craft first. A lot of people want to jump out the window and ain't perfect their craft yet. So now when the pressure hits, you can't keep up with the demand because you ain't perfect your craft.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm big on that. I just work to stay sharp. Like when these other producers think like I'm working all the time. So do not get it fucked up. Any producer that's watching this, I work like I just got in the game yesterday. So you got to stay on your A game. Because I'm trying to outwork everybody.
You heard it from the man himself, man. It's Tapealert, hottest in the city. Rsonist, thank you.
My brother, thank you.
Shout out to your brother Thriller.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shout out to Thriller, my man Weatherman.